What? It's right there.
Cuckmaster?
Jordan. Cookie Monster.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is.
Wow. What's a really funny story behind this? The picture of this is on Reddit, and it's on a blue, like, Corolla or something. And the person obviously gets their plate mistaken a lot because they have a bunch of Cookie Monster decals pointing at the license plate, which tells me they get confronted about this a lot, and not because people think it's a Cookie Monster plate. Welcome, everyone, to the Bose Bros podcast. I'm Mason.
I'm Jordan.
And today we're going to start off with our discussion segments.
Some big news people have been very excited about.
A lot of news.
Yeah.
A lot to cover. So we'll start with the news. First up, talked about this recently. The successor to the LFA has been officially revealed. We know a decent amount about it, but this is still a very early concept.
I mean, it's not that early. It's on the same platform as the GRGT. It's the same car.
I mean, not really, because this is electric.
Yeah, but it's...
I can't imagine they keep that much.
That's true. But from what I understand, I watched a few videos about this thing. It's proportionally the same. Like the hood's the same length. Its wheelbase is the same. Like it's largely the same vehicle, skeleton wise. But of course, yeah, it's all electric, and there's not a whole lot. It's basically the same as a GRGT in shape. But yeah, it's electric, and of course, because it's a concept, and they changed the name from whatever other generic name to the LFA, they haven't released numbers on power or 0 to 60 or anything. So
yeah,
I would say it's not terribly far from production, which they said they're going to put it in production, because it's on a platform that they're launching right now anyway. It's not a bespoke thing. Like most concept cars are just on their own thing that they welded together in the back. Like it's not that. It's on a real platform. Mm-hmm. So I can't say it's terribly far away from going to production, but yeah, they haven't really released anything.
I think people would be more upset about this being electric if they didn't also release the GRGT at the same time.
I think that was wise.
Yeah.
That was wise. Making the LFA electric when the last LFA was the best sounding vehicle that's ever been made by mankind, and you're not going to find a whole lot of argument about that.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a fact, but it's an opinion that's as close to fact as you can get.
Yeah. Anyway, that V10 is legendary for how amazing it sounds. And then to go to electric, it just...
Yeah. So this is almost identical to the concept they showed off a few months ago. That was the Sport Coupe concept. And we talked about it. We're like, they said this isn't like an official car. This is kind of just the design language they're shooting for. When you look at these side by side, it is almost identical to that concept. And they mentioned that. They basically put it out there and got people's feedback without officially saying this is the LFA.
Right. And people started calling it the LFR.
Yeah. Yep. No, they're keeping the LFA.
I think if they called it the LFR, people would be less upset.
Yeah, the fact that they're saying this is the new LFA. You know what I think is going to happen as a result? I think LFA prices are going to go even higher.
Oh, yeah.
Last gen LFA.
Yeah. First gen, only gen.
Do you know what I noticed? I'm going to show you a picture of the rear of this car, and I want you to tell me what stands out to you.
The lights that mimic the 3 tailpipes from the original LFA.
I had to go back and look.
Cool.
The Sport Coupe concept had that. And no one, as far as I know, pointed that out. Like, it should have been obvious this was the LFA.
Yeah, right away.
Because the concept had that same arrangement. Now, it wasn't lit up, and it's easy to miss, but still, yeah. I'm like, oh, that's a cool touch. Mm-hmm. And it's the same way. It's got the 2 up top, the 1 on the bottom. Like, that's the same arrangement. Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Funny, we talked about that last time with the 3 taillights on or tailpipes.
Well, they're tail lights now.
Yeah, that's cool.
Are they going to do any fake exterior noises, or are they just going to say, nah, we're just not going to do anything about the noise?
I think they're too classy for that. But
it's one thing for Dodge to do it. It's another thing for $150,000, $200,000 Lexus to...
This will not be $200,000.
This would be
the GRGT they're saying is closer to $250,000.
Okay, so this will be like $300,000 or $400,000. Yeah.
And the GR GT3 is like $500,000.
Yeah. I mean, that's a straight up race car. So
That's what I heard. Now, again, I've watched a ton of videos on these already, so I couldn't tell you where I got that from. But apparently the GR GT is supposed to be an AMG GT, but Toyota.
yeah.
They also don't have a single Toyota or Lexus badge on it. It's GR. So, again, also speculation. The Throttle House boys think that GR will be its own sub-brand soon.
Kind of like what they're doing with Century.
Yes. Yeah, Century or Genesis.
Mm-hmm. Yep. New LFA.
Mm-hmm.
But people seem more excited about this.
It looks so good.
This is good.
It looks so good.
Yeah. This is nice.
It's if you told Toyota go off and build a Viper.
This really does scream AMG to me.
Absolutely, yeah. But AMG from 2012.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Especially how this how the windshield comes up really pretty vertical for being a coupe. It comes up. It's not as sloped as I would have expected.
Yeah.
And that to me screams Mercedes.
Yep. Yeah, that A-pillar, look how far back. It's like halfway down the car.
Yeah. It's like
a Viper or that AMG.
Yeah. I mean, all those cars in that category, Viper, Miata. Yeah. If I can get you to roll your eyes, then I win. You don't understand. That's the goal.
I can't help it.
That's the goal.
I can't help it. Those rims are cool too.
Yeah,
the whole thing. There's not anything I don't like about it.
There isn't a single angle I've seen of it that isn't awesome. And also, did you notice the LFA intake looking thing on the back?
Mm-mm.
Right here over the rear haunch. That screams LFA.
Yeah. The fact that they have this, I think people are like, all right, whatever. The new LFA is electric. Like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
We're more excited about this now then.
Yeah. And
this gives something for people to grab onto and be like, all right, here's our internal combustion, Halo car.
Don't worry, enthusiasts.
Yeah.
You haven't been left behind. It worked on me. I'm more excited about this than I am mad about the LFA.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the back of this thing, oh my gosh. Yes. Oh my goodness. Is that not so cool?
It looks really good.
Oh, somebody had fun.
Yeah, I mean, what's not to have fun with? They're like, all right, just make a ground up race car.
Yeah, the Stratos, they made it bespoke as a race car and then had to make it somewhat livable to sell them and homologate it.
Yep. I mean, the exterior on this
this
looks really nice. Like it's not like a stripped down race car on the inside.
Right.
The GT3 version is.
You wouldn't think that getting in this. You wouldn't think this is a race car with more comfortable seats. You would get in this and go, this is a regular road car. But when you look at them side by side, you go, clearly this was made to be a race car. Mm-hmm. And then they took it over and went like, all right, make this thing more livable.
For those that don't know, this does not have a V10, but it does have a 4-liter V8 twin turbocharged in a hot V arrangement, 641 horsepower, electrically assisted. I don't understand the electrical assistance. Is that to help with the turbo, or does that actually provide power directly to the wheels?
I don't know. I don't know what electrical assistance it's getting. I know electric turbos were pioneered by Porsche just on this most recent version of the turbo.
Corvette too. Doesn't the new 01 use
electric turbos?
01X, doesn't that use?
It might actually, but it's all very recent. That's the point. The point is that it's very recent. So they maybe it's electrically assisted turbos, which effectively turns the lag into nothing.
Mm-hmm.
The Porsche turbo, it gained like 120 pounds from the previous version, but is like a full second quicker in the quarter mile or something. It's some absurd amount different because the turbos now have basically no lag, and then they also function. The turbos themselves work as generators in that car. I don't know if you knew that.
Mm-mm.
So it has two turbos, and they're both generators.
Oh, actually, I did know that.
Which is super cool.
Because instead of like being a wastegate and that potential gets wasted, it uses that as kind of like a regenerative braking system. Like
Yes,
it
and
recaptures that energy.
if you're on like highway cruising, your regular exhaust can spin those fans to a decent speed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it can just take that, and your battery just always is topped up, which is really cool.
Yeah, the platform on this is all new. It's Toyota's first aluminum space frame. So it's aluminum with extensive use of carbon fiber. It's still relatively heavy. It's a lot heavier than it looks. It's like 3,850 pounds.
But it's big.
Yeah.
It's big. I mean, it's low, but it's really long.
They focused on aerodynamics and a low center of gravity. There's also, interestingly, no active aero at all.
Mm-hmm. I heard that was all for simplicity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the back glass really makes me think of Supra.
Yep. So this is a homologation car. There's basically a twin to this. This is the road going version. There's a racing version to compete in GT3 events, and that's the GR GT3. And it looks like this.
Yeah.
Wow, does that not scream
AMG,
Viper ACR?
Yeah, oh yeah.
The big old wing on there, the cutouts over the wheel wells.
Mm-hmm. But those are aggressive cutouts too.
Yeah.
Those are like, we're not kidding around. This is not for looks. This is
Well,
functional.
you know what's funny is if this were a Dodge vehicle, I would assume that's mostly for
Looks.
show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But knowing Toyota, that's probably how they needed to be shaped for whatever fluid dynamics are going on.
Right. They're trying to take over the label of Godzilla, I think. I think those are the spikes on his back.
They're osteoderms is what they're called.
Nerd.
Side exhaust is pretty cool.
But this obviously has way more horsepower.
Maybe it doesn't, because the Ford GTD, the Mustang GTD, the road-going version has significantly more power than the GT3 version. Because there's certain like horsepower limitations that you don't have. There's actually all kinds of limitations you don't have to work around for a road-going version that you have to stick to in GT3 events.
Right.
But, of course, the GT3 car is built for endurance and stripping out everything that isn't necessary. But still, there's all kinds of cool trick things that they added to the Mustang GTD road-going version that the GT3 version doesn't have because it can't have them.
That's cool.
Yeah, look how aggressive that cutout is behind the front wheel.
Yeah. They are serious about getting rid of that turbulent air from behind the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
And look at all the surface area it has to turn back to laminar flow against the body of the car.
Is that the fuel door up there?
Yes, but that's a racing fuel door.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Is the fuel door in the same place in the road-going version? Is it way up there? It's hard. No, it's not.
I think it's on the other side of the car.
Yeah. Very cool. All right.
How much did Stellantis pay Top Gear?
That's like the top comment. So for those that don't know, this year was the inaugural Top Gear U.S. Car Awards.
Right.
Essentially,
American
they're
Car of the Year.
American Car of the Year, although that makes it sound like it's strictly American cars. It's cars that can be sold in the United States.
Yeah.
So cars, they could be American, they could be anything else, but it's only cars that are sold here.
Should be
and
the U.S. Market Car of the Year.
well, they called it the U.S. Car Awards, is officially what it's called.
Okay.
And it's only cars that are sold in the U.S. market and only cars that have been released in the last 12 months. So that actually narrows it down quite a bit. So it's surprising that this vehicle won Car of the Year, but not as surprising considering we're only talking about so many vehicles sold here that were released in the last year.
Mm-hmm. But they didn't even talk about the Lucid Gravity. They didn't even mention it. And that's a better SUV than anything that anybody else put up this year.
What's curious is the R1T got Truck of the Year.
But they didn't even mention
They didn't even mention
the R1S. Yeah.
the R1S. It wasn't even an honorable mention, but it's like it's essentially the same vehicle.
It's the same.
Yeah.
The other offerings, well, I mean, the other people that paid them probably paid more. Maybe they didn't pay for that segment. I don't know.
I will say this one, and this is coming from a Mopar guy. When you told me, you could have had me guess 100 cars. I would not have guessed Top Gear of all places.
So Inside Baseball, I saw this. I had to call him like right away. I didn't even finish the video. And I was like, you're not going to believe this, but Top Gear gave a car of the year that you will never guess.
You could have had me guessing for an hour. I wouldn't have gotten to Dodge Charger. Now, to be clear, The six pack, which is the internal combustion inline 6-cylinder, is what won car of the year, not the Daytona, which is the electric version of this car. Now, if they had a category for most improved,
That would make more sense.
that would make more sense because, frankly, the six pack is a more compelling product than the electric Daytona. But just blanket car of the year,
Yeah, that's a hard one to swallow.
I've heard a lot more positive things about this six pack than I did the Daytona. But is it worthy of car of the year? I don't know. I've never driven it. Maybe it's phenomenal.
Maybe the six pack is amazing, but it's hard for me, especially coming from a lightweight sports car. It's hard for me to think of a nearly 5,000 pound 2-door vehicle being good at anything
Yeah.
that's related to sports car speed. I mean, like the BMW M5 is 5,300 pounds. It's nearly 500 pounds more than this.
Yeah.
But that's a 4-door at least.
Well, the four-door version of this, I imagine, doesn't weigh a whole lot more.
No, I mean, it can't. What are they going to attach to it? A freaking elephant?
Yeah. I mean, well, it's the same wheelbase, almost the same roof line, same drivetrain.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everything's the same. It's just whatever added weight that comes with a section of the car that needs to open. So it'll be a little heavier, but not by much.
Yeah, I imagine it'll be broadly the same.
Yeah.
What's funny is I did the math yesterday. This is the same as 2 of my car curb weight. And then the electric version is the same of 2 of my car plus 1,100 pounds.
Well, this is the weight of 2 of your cars, but more than double the power of 2 of your cars.
Yeah, and I don't care.
But so this will likely, it will accelerate faster, and it's all-wheel drive as well. But it's not going to feel nearly as sporty as your car. Like you can go back and watch some videos we did driving the Coronado Trail. With how big and wide and heavy this thing is, this would not be nearly as fun.
No,
as
you would
zipping
be,
around in that little Miata.
You would be puckered going much slower in this car. I could go an irresponsible speed around those corners and with confidence
because you have so much control over that Miata.
Mm-hmm. Whereas this, I'd be like, well, let's see if the tires are still alive around every corner.
Yeah. Yeah, that was surprising.
And the suspension has to be really hard to hold up all that weight,
which means it's going to be heavy.
So and weight begets weight.
Mm-hmm. Charger, 6-pack, won car of the year. SUV of the year was won by Cadillac Lyriq V, their electric SUV. The truck of the year, as we mentioned, the Rivian R1T, the quad motor version, the new quad motor.
Mm-hmm.
Supercar of the year, this one I wholeheartedly agree with. Mm-hmm. And this shouldn't even be American car of the year. The Corvette ZR1 Supercar of the year.
Anywhere.
I don't know what else you would even,
especially if you bring in dollar amount to it.
Oh yeah,
because what is it? 180
starts at 180, 182 or something like that.
Yeah, so for 180, it's not supercar quick; it's hypercar quick. It's keeping up with things that have 7-figure price tags.
Yep,
easily.
And frankly, I trust that Corvette to continue to. I would drive to work in that Corvette. Whereas if I were to go buy an equivalently performant hypercar in Europe, that's not a car I would take
anywhere
other than a track.
Yeah.
Whereas the Corvette, I drove the Corvette. Like, I can't imagine the ride or like driving it around town is going to be.
And you didn't
much
even
different.
have the Z51 package on yours.
No.
So you didn't have the MagneRide suspension.
And it was very compliant, very
MagneRide's even better.
Comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah. The Corvette succeeds, it excels at being all things in all situations.
Which is super rare.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this Charger. This tried to be a bunch of different things. Tried to be a 2-door.
At almost everything.
And a 4-door, and an EV, and internal combustion, and a muscle car, but not have a V8. And it's just not great at any of them, where the Corvette somehow manages to be a great daily car, an amazing performance car, and still very practical. It's got lots of storage.
You can't do a Costco run in it, but you could do a regular grocery run in it.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally agree with that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. I don't even know if GM had to pay them for that one.
No, probably not. Manufacturer of the year was Cadillac, which is interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting with their F1 stuff, and they've had a lot of success with their prototype.
And the Top Gear Tech Award was given to the wireless charging Porsche Cayenne.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
Marquez Brownlee.
Yeah, I don't understand.
What?
I understand why he picked it. They're like, let's, Marquez writes for us. He does YouTube. Let's have him in here for something. It seemed like an afterthought. And they threw it in, and he's like, well, what's the most techie thing? I mean, I guess I have this here right now, this electric charging pad. It did not feel intentional or meaningful.
I think it's interesting. I am curious to see if that's something that'll catch on, or if it'll be like, hey, remember a few years ago when Porsche had that SUV that would wirelessly charge?
Yeah.
I wonder.
Catch on fire?
Yeah, maybe.
Knowing what I know about at least the experience that I have had, a very close friend of mine has a Taycan, and she's had it for 3 years, maybe a little more. And for most of that time, she's had to charge at regular wall outlet speed.
Now, it's because she didn't have the charging infrastructure at home, or the car
The
was giving her
car
issues?
had like a recall on the cable that they couldn't push through enough, whatever it was. And then she got like a Porsche charger installed at her house, and then that cable was known to catch fire, so they said, bring it in and we'll give you another one. And she brought it in, and they were all out of them, and she had to wait like 8 months to get a cable. So she was just plugging into a regular wall outlet. And then when she got it all hooked up, she's not a tech savvy person. So when she finally got the cable in, it was only charging at like maybe twice the speed of a wall outlet, because every single time you plug it in, you have to go over to the wall charger and select the voltage or the wattage you want pushed through. And it was still pushing through like a much lower wattage, like half a kilowatt per hour or 1 kilowatt per hour. And you have to select like 9 or 12 or whatever it was every time you plug it in. So she didn't know to do that. So she's like, is still charging slow. I don't know what to do about it. So anyway, most of the time she's had it, it's been just a huge pain in the butt. It's had so many recalls. I've had to bring it into the dealership for so many times. So I think that, and then a heat generation pad that you call a charging pad. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe it'll catch fire. We'll see.
Yeah, on a demo stage or in Marquez's immaculately clean, very controlled, environment where he's testing it, I'm sure it works great.
Mm-hmm.
But fast forward 6 months from now, you run over it, your cat scratches it, it gets wet, like whatever, or nothing happens to it.
Or just enough dust where it thinks that there's something on it.
Whatever. In anything shy of a perfect, use case scenario, you suspect it's not going to work very well.
No.
Yeah. I'd agree with that. This is some recent news as well. President Trump, the current administration, has proposed new U.S. fuel economy standards. So basically what happened is they proposed a significant rollback of fuel efficiency rules. So instead of the 50 plus miles per gallon or thereabouts that was a target by 2030 for automakers, the new target is like 34.5 miles per gallon, which is a pretty significant reduction over the next 6 years. 50 miles per gallon to 35 miles a gallon. It comes to a revision to the Safe Vehicles Rule 3 proposed by the NHTSA, and it's part of a broader initiative dubbed the Freedom Means Affordable Cars. It's currently just a proposal, and it's open for public comment and not yet finalized, but it's been making the headlines that the Trump administration is saying, we're going to dramatically reduce the Biden administration's targeted 50 mile per gallon by 2035
2031.
2031, yeah. Also, in that same meeting, President Trump declared his love for K-cars.
I didn't know this.
Yeah.
He likes K-cars?
I mean, he didn't say K-cars specifically, but he was talking about those little Japanese cute cars. I want to get the quote right. He said, he called them, quote, very small, really cute, and beautiful.
Everything's beautiful.
Tiny cars to be built in America. He recently went to Japan, so some people think that maybe that's why he saw those cars there, and he was asked about them. And so at a fuel economy policy event, he suggested clearing regulatory barriers to let some of these small K vehicles into the United States. He mentioned that similar tiny vehicles should be built and sold in the U.S., and he directed the United States Department of Transportation to look into what can be done to remove the regulations that are keeping these vehicles from being sold here. So the K-truck community has been like going gangbusters, like so excited. But again, this is just him talking in the Oval Office to
Who knows what's going to happen?
Doesn't mean anything as of right now.
Could you imagine if Japan could bring in K trucks? You know how many they would sell at the prices they could make them at?
Yeah.
If they could get them through, like get waivers on safety and fuel economy stuff, they could bring all kinds of stuff from all over the world here, and then car companies that sell here would have to get with the freaking program and start making little affordable cars again instead of just all these stupid crossovers that cost way too much.
Same thing happened in the 80s.
Yeah.
The Japanese cars came in.
They came in and ate the American car companies' lunch.
And the American companies had to do better. So that is one thing the experts are pointing out, that like, yeah, even if like some of those regulatory like production hurdles can be overcome, these cars are not safe enough to be on American roads. So either you have to do some pretty expensive, I don't even know if you could make a K-truck pass any crash safety rating for our highways or anything.
Only if you put it in the bed of an F-150.
Yeah, exactly. But apparently they're looking into, Secretary of Transportation is looking into if there's ways they can find cutouts for vehicles like this. Which does beg the question, like, if motorcycles are allowed on our roads,
why not these?
Why not these?
That's the best argument I've heard. The most concise and clear argument I've heard.
Mm-hmm. Because we make exceptions for motorcycles because they're a different mode of transportation. But really, it wouldn't be hard to find a way to categorize these and say these have different crash test safety ratings than full-size vehicles.
Being required to pass a certain level of test, I don't understand. I was talking with a friend of ours today. She really wants to buy a safe car. Her son was just in a rollover accident in his Honda Civic from like 2010 or something. And thankfully, they're all fine. Her two kids that were in the car, they're fine. And now she wants to get them a very safe car. She's very worried about that. And we talked about the safety ratings. We talked about how they're done. We talked about, what they do to make sure that these vehicles are safe. And for a person like that, buying a really safe car, something like a Tesla or something else with a really high safety rating, that makes a lot of sense. And she should do that. But for someone who's going to ride a motorcycle, who just doesn't care about safety, they don't have a kid that's going to be in the car, they don't have any concern whatsoever about whether or not they live through a crash, I say let them buy whatever the heck they want to buy.
They're assuming that risk.
Right.
Now, I do think they should be tested, and the crash test rating should be very transparent and well known. Mm-hmm. And if this is like essentially a rolling death trap, you should know that. You should be informed going into it.
Yeah, as far as consumer knowledge.
If you know that and you still choose to buy it, more power to you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Do it.
That's what I'm saying. People should be able to have that choice. If people go skydiving all the time.
So yeah, K-trucks. If anything were to happen with this, it still would be a long ways off. Mm-hmm. Not something that's going to happen tomorrow, but promising to see. And the reception's been really positive. So hopefully the administration sees that there's just a huge gaping hole, a K-truck shaped hole.
And that'll also eat Slate's lunch.
Yeah, because
if Ford was already doing it, Slate would not survive.
That's the biggest criticism I see about the Slate truck and that really cheap Ford truck is, why is it electric? Well, making it electric makes it so much more expensive than it otherwise would be. But making an electric vehicle as a startup is a lot easier. There's fewer regulatory hurdles to get through than making an internal combustion one. So that's probably why. Leno's Law, which is SB 712, I believe it is, in California, did not pass. This story kind of went under the radar for us. We didn't cover it. I wanted to, but
what they changed Leno's Law into was never what it was supposed to be, and then it was no longer useful at all. So the fact that it didn't pass didn't matter because they had rewritten it to be basically useless.
So for those that don't know, in the state of California, they used to have a rolling 25-year, the way I understand it, it's a rolling 25-year exemption for smog or emissions testing. So once your car is 25 years old, you no longer have to comply with the newest emission standards, which makes sense if you're driving a car from 1975 and you're testing it in the year 2000 or whatever. Cars coming out in the year 2000 are going to be way more efficient and the standards are going to be a lot stricter. So you'd have to do quite a bit to that 25-year-old car to make it run as efficiently as a modern car. So essentially, you need to make sure it passes smog, but once you pass that 25-year mark, you no longer have to follow those emissions rules. That's how it used to be. But then they put a freeze on that. They essentially said, we're stopping at 1975. And it doesn't matter how much time passes, you can't get any exemption for smog, even if a car is more than 25 years old. Like 1975 is the newest a car could be.
Their standards keep getting stricter, but your car isn't getting any newer. Your 1981 Camry isn't getting any newer.
Yeah.
But it still has to pass tighter and tighter smog regulations in California.
The law essentially states that vintage vehicles, I mean, it states it, but this is true. Vintage vehicles are driven infrequently. And when you look at like the total sum of all pollution that cars cause, these vintage classic cars that people drive once a month or on the weekend or whatever, not particularly far, and there's not very many of them, they contribute a negligible amount. Like, are they less efficient than modern cars? Sure. But that's not really the question. The question is, how much harm are these cars doing to the environment? And it's such a small percentage of the overall input that it's like, why do we care about this?
There's whole industries in California that are in California because of the weather, because these vehicles will survive and last in California a lot better than they will elsewhere. It's similar in Arizona. If you're driving your 1981 Camry, because it still works, yeah, it's polluting some amount more than a brand new car. It's also going to pollute a lot less than throwing it away and buying and building a brand new car.
So Leno's Law essentially would try to rectify that. I believe it was 35 years for Leno's Law. A rolling 35-year exemption is what it was. So it's even less strict than it used to be. But at least it's now rolling. So at some point, you'll be able to take those classic cars back on the road again without having to, I mean, essentially engine swap it. And even then, California is really strict about what you can do to your car anyway. So there's all kinds of red tape and regulations about the things you can do to your car. I mean, it would just be such a headache to try to get like my Plymouth Cuda past modern day emission standards. Like, I don't even know what I could do to it.
And then whatever you did to it to pass the emissions now falls afoul of some
other law.
Yeah. The 74 will be worth way more than the 1975.
Yeah, because you're not to get that smogged.
Right. So you can go pick up one from 1975 in California for significantly less.
So the bill did get as far as the Assembly Appropriations Committee for further consideration, and it was set to be voted on, but it was actually just dismissed. They never even voted on it. Someone like Jay Leno has the resources and manpower to find a way around that. He has a media company. He could probably get some sort of exception to use them for like business purposes or whatever, but he's not the one even doing that. He has a team of people that does that. Your average person doesn't have the time or resources to figure that out.
No.
Or to jump through the hurdles or this, whatever it may be. So
you just go buy one that works already.
That's what you're going to be forced to do. So you can have all these people who are dumping their cars prematurely that work fine.
Yeah. There's plenty of cool cars from the 80s that people would probably love to drive up there that it's just such a pain.
California's gas car ban has been overturned. Now, the Leno's Law, that happened a little while ago. This is fairly recent news. So to catch you up to speed, in 2020, Governor of California, Gavin Newsom, signed into law future ban on the sale of new internal combustion vehicles in the state of California after the year 2035, which has pretty broad implications. California is the biggest economy in the United States. Its economy is bigger than Germany.
They have actually been setting the emission standards for the country and not the EPA. The EPA has set their own standards, and that's what cars are tested to. But CARB will set its own standard, and manufacturers to not have to figure out the logistics of selling specific cars in specific states will just make all of their cars meet the CARB standard. So by being more strict and having a lot of weight of having a large economy means that the CARB standard is really the national standard and not the EPA.
Yep.
So that begs the question of if all of the gas cars would go away in California, does that mean they would that change anything in the rest of the country?
If California diverts too far from the rest of the country, at a certain point they'll say, well, we would actually lose more money trying to sell in California. So, sorry, California, you just don't get our cars.
Right.
Eventually, if they diverge far enough.
That's what businesses are doing in California.
They're already
difficult.
leaving.
Yeah. They've had more businesses leave than any other state. They've had more people leave than any other state.
Like, yeah, they've had a lot of weight, and there's still a lot of people, a lot of money, a lot of businesses in California. Like, it's a very pretty place to be. It's a very geographically advantageous place to be. At a certain point, the math is not going to make any more sense, where instead of saying, okay, the rest of the country, you need to buy what we sell in California, at a certain point, that scale has to tip and say, okay, now California, sorry, it makes more sense to just not sell to you. In 2022, the Advanced Clean Cars 2 was adopted, and CARB essentially requires 100% of new cars and light trucks to be zero CO2 emission by 2035.
Gotcha.
Except in 2024, under a new administration, they're pushing back on this. They went to California to say, no, you're not going to be able to swing your weight around. They cited a bunch of things that California shouldn't be doing. I'm not going to speak to that. I'm not educated enough on that. But essentially what happened is the federal administration came in and is telling California, you can't do that. You need to be able to continue selling internal combustion cars past 2035. As a result, California and I think 10 other states are actively suing the federal government, saying you can't come in and tell the state like what it needs to do. The state needs to be able to make its own decision. So there's this ongoing back and forth. But as of right now, that 2035 ban is effectively useless. Like they can't do anything about it. Now, that's still 10 years away. Another administration will likely come in, maybe flip the script. So
there's a lot of things that will change between now and then.
California is now reconsidering that strategy. They may just get rid of the ban. I suspect they might. I think they might use, this is my theory, I think they may use this pressure from the federal government to say, well, they're making it too hard for us to do this. We can't do it. It's the federal government's fault for getting in the way of us trying to ban gas-powered cars by 2035. When secretly, they know it's a bad idea.
Their electrical grid is an absolute disaster.
So you replace however many millions of cars on the road with
all electric, and they're making building any more electrical infrastructure harder every year.
When it comes to automotive policy, I think states should be left alone. If, for example, California wants to ban internal combustion vehicles by 2035. I don't live in California.
I'll vote with my feet. I'll be somewhere else.
Why do I care? Right. Now, as someone who is an avid fan of internal combustion, you may find that surprising that I'm not pleased, or I'm at least not celebrating the fact that the federal government is stepping in and telling California, no, you have to continue selling internal combustion vehicles. Maybe that's surprising to you, and that's why I qualify this as a hot take. Maybe that's surprising. But I think more than my appreciation of the internal combustion, greater than that is my appreciation for states' freedom. States should have a pretty incredible level of autonomy.
Yeah, there's a reason that the articles of the Constitution list very, very few things the federal government's allowed to do.
From an automotive perspective, if California wants to ban ICE vehicles, let them. Now, I'm skeptical. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe California will become this hyper green utopia that thrives in the absence of dirty combustion engines and is able to just overnight eliminate those without any downstream effects whatsoever. And that comes across a little facetious, and it is a little facetious, but it is rooted in a sentiment that I mean genuinely. I could be wrong. Maybe a stroke of the pen is all it takes. And if California wants, and the voters want, and their elected officials want to run that experiment, let them. Genuinely, I would be curious.
Well, I agree with you.
The European Union also has similar mandates to get rid of internal combustion vehicles by 2035. I say get rid of, ban the sale of new internal combustion vehicles by 2035, which is 10 years, which sounds like a lot, but in the automotive life cycle, that's actually not that far away. It's like 2 generations of a car. Unless you're Dodge, then it's like half a generation of a car.
Yeah. I was just going to say that.
Germany and Italy have been pushing back against that. I'll give you one guess why.
Supercars.
Yeah, a huge part of their economy is automotives. And maybe the people that have been building cars for 100 years know something about cars and what people want. They are already repealing this. And they signed this into law in 2023 when the EV craze was at its highest. And they're already talking about either extending that timeline or just getting rid of it entirely. The federal government coming in and preventing California from doing this effectively threw them a forced safety net.
Because now they can say, we tried.
I don't understand why we're not letting California do what California wants to do.
Let them.
Let's get into our speed rounds.
Okay.
Concept versus reality. So I'm going to show you a picture of a car, and you tell me what that eventually turned into. Okay?
That's Dodge Nitro.
I thought the same thing.
No, wait. I've seen this. Caliber?
Nope. I'll tell you this. It only shares the name.
Yeah, Avenger?
Newer.
Oh, Hornet. Yes, this is the Hornet concept. Yes.
The Hornet concept. How does this compare to what we got?
I hate them both.
Yeah.
Actually, this one might not be that bad. If it got like the SRT4 motor from the Neon, that'd be cool. And then, a little, what is this, 4-door, 2-door? Can't even tell.
Like a kind of a door in the back, like a half
half
door. You could tell this came out around the time of the Element and the Scion and the other boxcars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, you're right. Dodge Hornet. Now I have a question for you. We have the Dodge Hornet, and we have the concept that came before it called the Hornet.
Mm-hmm.
But the name Hornet is owned by Dodge, but do you know who they acquired it from? Who made a Hornet before that?
Hudson.
Well, you skipped it, but AMC. They acquired it from AMC, who had a Hornet. And do you know who they acquired Hornet from?
That would be Hudson.
Hudson. So there is a direct line between the Hudson Hornet and this thing.
I hate that fact.
Yeah.
I hate that.
So obviously these have nothing to do with each other, but that name was owned by Hudson, acquired by AMC, and acquired by Dodge. So Dodge has had the name Hornet, and this is what they decided to do with it. So.
No.
Yeah. Did you know that?
I didn't know about the AMC Hornet, but yeah, you're gonna have a hard time finding Dodge concept cars I haven't seen before.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that is the Corvette C5.
Kind of. It never actually turned into anything, but I consider this the concept for the ZR1X. Let me read you the facts about this car and tell me if you agree. This is mid-engine, V8, twin turbocharged, a 5.5-liter V8, all-wheel drive, computer-controlled suspension, automatic-only transmission, and carbon fiber body panels. Does that or does that not sound very much like a ZR1X?
Not a hybrid, though.
Not a hybrid. But still, twin-turbo V8 all-wheel drive mid-engine Corvette. It's actually from 1990.
With pop-up headlights.
Pop-up headlight. And these are cool because they just go, dink. They're just like little slits.
That is cool.
So this, as far as I know, was the closest Chevy ever got to making a mid-engine Corvette prior to the C8 generation. But
I know there was always discussion.
Yeah. But I consider this essentially the concept for the ZR1X, even though it came out 35 years later. Yep, 1990 Corvette, CERV or CERV 3. Yeah, ZR1X, another mid-engine, 5.5-liter V8 twin turbocharged all-wheel drive Corvette. All right.
i8?
Yeah, I mean, at the time, they called it the BMW Vision Efficient Dynamics.
Did you see the Camisa video on the i8?
Yeah,
it's good. He didn't pull any punches in that thing.
Yeah. And that's not a typo. They really didn't put a space between efficient and dynamics.
I thought it was a typo I wasn't going to mention.
It's not.
That's
That
stupid.
is how it is spelled. Although I was kind of shocked this is from 2009.
It looks older.
Really? I think it looks relatively modern.
I think the bubbly,
Yeah.
everything, I mean, let's be honest, smooth-brained look to it.
I knew the concept looked really close to what we got. I didn't realize the concept was from all the way back in 2009.
But didn't it come out in 13?
14.
14, okay. So, I mean, that's
5
5
years.
years. 2009 feels very different than 2014 in my brain, but
It does. It does. So yeah, that eventually became the i8. Very peculiar car.
I'm not a fan, especially because BMW doesn't support them anymore. They often don't service them at dealerships. You can't.
Can you imagine buying one of those at $150,000 and BMW saying,
You can find them now for under 20 pretty regularly.
Yeah.
You can find them for under 20, and if it, say, 12-volt battery dies and you need to get in to service that, or
You're on your own.
the door just stops opening.
Yep.
Things just stop working. The wing mirror on my van stopped automatically folding out the other day, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
And then it just started working again.
And that's on a mass-produced
minivan. that they
minivan.
made,
Yeah.
hundreds of thousands of them.
And you have a hard time finding parts for your car. Imagine trying to find a part for this thing.
Yeah, and then anybody to work on it, and no.
Yeah, that's why.
No, that's why they're worth like 20 grand.
Yeah. All right, next up.
Dope or nope?
Dope or nope. So I'm going to show you a picture of a car, and you tell me, is it dope or is it a nope?
Okay. That's dope. That's immediately dope. Speed Racer. Is it a Corvette?
It's a 96 Corvette Speed Racer.
Yeah.
It's very well done.
It is very well done. That's super cool.
It is very well done.
Okay.
So dope? Yeah.
Yeah. This is dope.
Stop crying. Won't do any good anyway. I quote that to my kids all the time. Besides, you got a lot of work to do. All right. Next up. Dope or nope?
I'm going to say nope, and let me tell you why. You see this outer roll cage is made of extremely thin tubing, and it's also mounted to plastic fenders.
It's just for show.
No. Yeah, this is just for show. This is a nonsense. Look at that heavy-duty jack. I could sit in the front and pick up the front of this thing. There's no need for that nonsense.
Yeah.
No, this is a nope. This is a hardcore nope.
Now, if it were truly practical, would it be dope or would it still be a no?
It wouldn't be a smart car if it was truly practical.
That's fair.
It would have to change what it is entirely.
I mean, you're almost there. Look at the wheel spacing, like how far they are from where they originally were.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, you're better off getting like
it's also the quality of the build, because I wouldn't mind a V8 Aston Martin Signet, because that thing was done actually really well.
Mm-hmm.
And that's cool.
Yep. All right, next, dope or nope?
Daewoo Matiz. That's dope.
Dope.
Again, quality of execution makes the difference.
Yeah, that looks great.
That's dope.
And little doors open just like the Little Tykes car do.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right, I'm on board with that one. What's
and this doesn't even matter what's powering it. It's going to feel so fast.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it could be a golf cart.
Yeah. All right, I think this is the last one. Dope or nope?
I've seen these.
This is real. This isn't a rendering.
Mm-hmm.
The pixelation makes it look like a rendering, but this is a real picture.
I've seen these. I think they're dope.
Yeah.
I would buy one.
Maybe if we had Utes here, then I'd be like, nah.
But we don't.
We don't. This is the closest you're going to get.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah. This one's well done, too. And I recognize, you know where those taillights are from? Oops.
Magnum.
No, those are from my minivan, but before the refresh.
Are they flipped upside down, too?
They might be.
Yeah, yours that's from like a 2013.
Yeah.
Grand Caravan.
Yep. All right, now this is the last one. A GR Prius.
This isn't a concept?
Or
this isn't a rendering?
No, it's a concept.
Huh. I want to, but I don't hate it. But why?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, the Speed Racer's the same thing. Is it any faster than like an actual Corvette? Is it any more practical? Does it do it like no, but it looks cool.
But the GR line is doing a lot of work to build a
brand.
name, a brand, heritage. They're trying to do heritage.
They want GR to mean something.
Right. Yeah. And making that, let's be honest, a joke is probably not the way to go.
And what if it was fairly high performant?
It doesn't matter.
Really? I think if it was actually pretty quick, I think it would be.
Doesn't matter. They barely got away with the GR Corolla.
Yeah, but it proved itself.
Yes.
And now people are like, what if this did the same thing? No, it wouldn't.
No.
Yeah. I think it looks cool.
I suppose, yeah. I think it looks not bad. I don't hate it, but I also think it's not what they're trying to do with GR. They're not trying to slap GR on every single thing they own like BMW does.
I was going to say like M.
The
like
BMW
they've diluted
M
to...
M means nothing.
Yeah.
It used to mean motorsport. In fact,
Now it means money.
M actually was from BMW Motorsports Company. It was not BMW, the vehicle company. It was a separate company.
Yep.
Specifically for that reason.
So nope for you then?
That's a nope.
Yeah. All right. Next up, your favorite segment.
Common denominator. All right, let's go. Let's do it.
So I'm going to show you 10 pictures of cars, one after the other, and you're going to tell me what they have in common. First one. Volkswagen Golf.
Is this generation specific?
The picture that I'm showing, it applies to that generation for sure, but not necessarily exclusively that generation. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Audi RS5.
Mm-hmm.
What are you thinking so far? What do they have in common?
They're all 5 cylinders.
This generation isn't. This one's still a V6, I believe. I could be wrong. Correct me in the comments. I'm pretty sure this one's a 6-cylinder.
Okay, never mind then.
But that is a good one. Did the Golf come with a 5-cylinder?
Now that you're pushing back on that, maybe it didn't. But that was the right generation to have it.
Mm-hmm. Next one.
Chevy Blazer. 5-spoke rims.
Yes.
Yeah?
So far, yeah.
Oh, okay. They've all been offered as 2 and 4-door versions.
Jeez. Yes.
You know, I was actually thinking that on the Golf.
Holy cow. Why did I spend so much time looking for more pictures, dude?
No.
I don't know. I need to show you 5. I feel like 10's too generous. All right. Yes. Each of these comes in both a 2 or 4 passenger door, including the Altima,
Mm-hmm.
BMW 4 Series,
because you can get the Grand Coupe, yep.
the Bronco,
Mm-hmm.
the Accord,
Mm-hmm.
F-150,
Got 2 more. Let's see them.
Honda
Civic. Dodge Charger.
and the Charger.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that on the first one. I was like, nah, I'm not going to guess that.
Jeez.
Would it have blown you away if I guessed it on the first one?
I just would have assumed that you saw my slides.
No.
Yep. 2 or 4 passenger doors.
Yeah, I was like, I wonder if it's something to do with the fact that this comes in multiple configurations.
I probably shouldn't have started with the Golf because you know the Golf really well.
I do.
All right. Next up. The plate game makes a return.
I was hoping for more. I was hoping to frustrate you more with the common denominator.
All right. So I'm going to show you a picture of an actual license plate that was registered for use on the road at some point. And you tell me what it's supposed to mean. It's a vanity plate, custom plate. Ready, set, go. What? It's right there. Do you not see it? Do you not get it?
Cuckmaster?
Jordan. Cookie Monster.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is.
Wow. Do you know what's a really funny story behind this? The picture of this is on Reddit, and it's on a blue, like, Corolla or something. And the person obviously gets their plate mistaken a lot because they have a bunch of Cookie Monster decals pointing at the license plate, which tells me they get confronted about this a lot, and not because people think it's a Cookie Monster plate.
There's no E or I that you could use to.
I mean, it's
one.
whatever they could pick that was available, I guess.
Yeah, Cuckmaster, I guess.
Next one. So Cookie Monster, obviously.
Okay. This doesn't even look like a. This looks like a regular license plate. So my roads X.
Okay. Close. My Red Sox. Although most people think it says my ride sucks.
Oh.
But it's actually
Hey,
supposed
that's
to
the
be
same as my Red Sox.
my Red Sox. Probably wasn't an Arizona plate, but I'm not going to get a new plate for every slide. That's not happening.
Why? Why do you keep picking ones that are...
This one's they spell it right out for you.
Yeah, it's an Audi TT in silver.
You're actually really close.
Okay.
Separate the first 3 and the second 3 letters.
Audi TT lover, TT's lover.
TTS lover. This
Okay.
one they had for a while, and then the DMV or whatever was like, "Nah, you can't have that anymore." I think it's my TTS. It's on a TTS. All right.
Idiot.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. That one's easy. All right. This one's a little more obscure. You need to use your brain on this one a little bit. All right.
69
Yeah. Nice.
in binary. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Nice.
Clearly that's binary. What's the funniest number?
Yep, you got it.
In the corner. Were you waiting for me to notice that?
Yeah. Nice.
Nice.
All right. Plate games. I'm going to show you pictures of actual registered plates across the country, and you have to tell me what you think they mean. Ready, set, go.
A new start.
A new star. Very good.
Not anus tart.
Why would you think that? It's clearly a new start.
Anus tart is on your wall in the garage. This license plate, a new start,
Clearly a new start.
is on the wall of your garage. Love tofu.
Love tofu. Very good. Not.
Not love to F you.
Yeah.
Jeep.
Yep. Very good.
Except it's 5 there instead of 7, but whatever.
There's a character limit.
And it would look wrong if it was 6 and symmetrical.
Mm-hmm.
No STDs.
No standards.
Oh. OJ did it.
Guess what car it was on?
It was on a white Bronco.
Yeah. Yeah.
OJ did it. That's so good. Oh my gosh, that's funny.
I saw another one that was on a white Bronco, and it was not OJ. It was also pretty funny. All right, next up, we have blind ranking. So rank these 5 cars, 1 to 5, without knowing what comes next.
Okay.
The category is digital dashes.
Ooh, is there an Aurora in this?
No.
No? Okay.
First up, Vector W8.
That's pretty cool.
That's an interactive screen, so it shows when different compartments are open, doors open, shut, trunk, and then it shows like all of your like oil pressure and everything can show on there too. It's very interactive, incredibly advanced for the year this came out.
Probably 87 or something.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah, that's really cool. I'm gonna say probably a 2. That's
2.
pretty cool.
Yeah. C4 Corvette.
That's cool, but it's a lot more like a overlay on top of regular LEDs. I'm gonna call that a 5.
5, really? All right.
So
Vauxhall Astra.
That's the same thing. That's just a plastic overlay on top of regular LEDs to make it look like it's an LCD, or not LEDs, but regular bulb, regular incandescent bulb.
Still looks cool.
Yeah, 4.
Nissan 300ZX.
That actually has a segmented display. Give it a 3.
Okay, so your number 1 is a Toyota Cressida.
That is kind of cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So they're all old.
Yeah, I mean, modern cars have digital displays, but they just lack any character, I think.
Yeah.
Rank these 5 cars, 1 to 5, without knowing what comes next. The category is looks fast, but isn't. So you're ranking these. Your car's not on here. My car's not on here. Although I thought about putting both of them on here. So you're ranking these on the biggest discrepancy between the check that the looks are writing.
Okay.
Okay. So the biggest discrepancy is your number 1.
Okay.
Pontiac Fiero.
Does look pretty quick. It does look like the poor man's Corvette. And I know it was an economy car.
Economy car.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. As Camisa like over-exaggerates the economy car.
Mid-engine.
Mid-engine. Yeah, I'm going to say that's, even though it was pretty slow, I'm going to say that was like a 4.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't, because I know what it is, I look at it and I go like, oh, it's Fiero.
Mm-hmm.
But removing myself from knowing what a Fiero is, I would go like, oh, a 2-door mid-engine car?
Yeah.
That's got a lot of promise. Yeah, maybe I'd call it a 3.
3. Okay.
MR2. That doesn't look as fast to me because it doesn't look like a mid-engine car.
Yeah.
I'm going to give that a 5.
5.
It
Okay.
doesn't look fast to me.
Okay. DeLorean.
Everyone thinks of it as like a supercar, but it's not fast. No. That's probably a 1.
Yeah. That one's got to be up there. Yep. Okay. That's your number 1.
2.
2. Yeah. This one,
It's supposed to be a hot rod.
it looks like
It
it's
has
supposed to be.
It has a dull 3-speed automatic mated to a limp-wristed V6 that never produced much horsepower.
The second V6 they put in there was a little better, but the first of these that came out, they were slow.
Yeah, I can't get over how bad that 3-speed automatic is.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
So that's your 2. So that means your 4. CRX.
Yeah, I always saw that as a economy car, and never as a sports car of any kind. So that fits. Yeah, I'm happy with all those placements.
Yeah. It's good.
Cool.
All right. Quiz time. So your first question. Why are convertibles also called spiders? Sometimes spelled spiders.
I don't know. Let's see what the options are.
It's derived from horse-drawn phaetons by the same name. It was previously only found on cars with 8 cylinders. Automakers used 8 in the VIN to designate convertibles, also nicknaming them spiders, or named after Lucas the Spider.
Lucas the Spider. That sounds like something you made up.
Could be.
I'm going to guess derived from horse-drawn phaetons.
You're right. Good job. Lucas the Spider is a show my kids watch.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Lucas the Spider. Horse-drawn phaetons, they had a tiny body and these big spindly wheels, and they had no top. So they look like arachnids.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that is very arachnid looking.
Of course, as you move from horse-drawn carriages to horseless carriages, somehow that's one of those automotive terms that's just stuck around, and they still call them spiders to this day.
Yeah.
The spelling of spider with a Y is strictly a stylistic choice. That's all it comes from. It's not, they still spell spider the same way we do in the UK, for example.
Cool. Yeah, that's very arachnid looking, especially with the black on red.
Yep.
Or red on black.
And they were all black at the time, so. All right, that's it.
Great. That was fun.